Hello everyone, so let's get started. First off, you have your sketch layer and then you have your color layer. And the first useful tip is you can lock the transparency of layers. Essentially, this means that wherever you paint, it will only affect the pixels that are opaque on that specific layer. You can choose any color you want, and a lot of people, they usually like to take their base color and then choose a slightly darker color of that base color and color in their line art. This gives a very more natural and subtle feeling than if you have harsher black lines. If you want to color your line art immediately, a quick method is to hold the Alt key and press Delete. Probably the most widely used mask is the clipping layer mask. This is where the bottommost layer defines the boundaries that can be painted on for clipped layers above it. To add the clipping mask, simply hover over the layers while holding Alt and click. You can have multiple layers that will always be within a specific perimeter. Thus, this is great for shading and lighting. However, you might find yourself limited by only having one base layer. For instance, say that I have a piece of clothing that I want to separately add quick shading and detail to, but I have to be mindful of other layers. Then using the clipping layer mask method isn't that effective, nor is it easy to organize sometimes. So a way to solve this problem is to already create separate flats for these areas, which most people usually do, but if you didn't, you can use transparency shading, or my favorite method is to use the clipping group masks. Firstly, you can set your mask to be the shape of your base layer and apply that to a group. So now any layer in that group is within boundaries of your base layer. With this method, you can have a lot of clipping masks and base layers, like base clothing layers, base hair layers, while they're still retained within that one large silhouette. I find this method is very versatile and easy for managing many layers. Here I'm making a shadow layer to demonstrate the last tip. I'm creating a mask on top of the shadow layer. When I select the mask and click Alt-Delete, it changes to black. As a result, the layer disappears. When the mask is white, the layer reappears. It's basically like an eraser and repainter tool, without actually ruining the original layer. So you can use this characteristic to erase or repaint specific layers that need a lot of adjusting. It is also nice for softening shadows without having to truly erase them.